morning and welcome everyone to the Beginners Online Trading webinar. My name is Danny and I'll give you the webinar today. Before we will begin, as always, I would like us to go through a quick sound check. Okay, so please, if you can go to the question section and just comment that the sound is okay and that the screen here is visible. Let me also check it on my end just to confirm. Can everybody hear me properly? Is the sound is okay? Okay, excellent. Thank you, Mike. All right, Alice. Very nice. Okay. All right. So I'll explain what will happen in the webinar before we will begin, and then we can hit the road. So initially, we're going to open with a quick introduction to the company, what we have in our facilities, the features, the content that we have on our website, just a quick introduction to the company itself as well. On the second part, it will be more practical. We will discuss things like sell and buy, and regular orders and pending orders, which can be found underneath here. And as an addition, we might be able to get to support and resistance and some basic analysis, but it's optional. So we're saving it as if it was the third part of the webinar. Okay, we'll see how good we're going to be with the pace. And it's important to know that any capital markets and trading information disclosed in this webinar is provided for informative purposes only and should not be constructed or applied as an investment advice, recommendation, or a suggestion. Now, the webinar is recorded, guys. It's something that I would like to mention, and I know that people will ask that along the webinar, and that's fine. The webinar will be uploaded to YouTube to our channel later on. Okay, it could be today, hopefully in a few hours, could be tomorrow, but the sooner the better, and then you can review it as many times as you want through our channel. Okay, so I would like to make sure that the webinar is recorded, as I mentioned a minute ago, and then I will be back and we will begin. Thank you very much. All right, so everything seems as it should be. Like I said, we're going to begin with the introduction, but before that, we will get ourselves, there we go, a nice place to take notes. I would recommend you guys to do the same. Find yourself a place to jot down the notes, could be on the computer or physically, whatever you prefer. Okay, and like I said, my name is Danny. Feel free to ask me whatever you want. And this is the Beginners Online Trading webinar, but we will acquire things that can be required for advanced and intermediate as well. Okay, so as many of you know, AvaTrade exists since 2006. We have 9 licenses worldwide. Obviously, we're a regulated company. If you got any questions, you can address here the customer service conveniently through the web trader. This is what the interface that we are looking at is called, okay, the web trader and the AvaGo. Okay, and like I said, in case you've got a question, the customer service is right here at the bottom left. You can access them through the chat or through the WhatsApp app, whatever you prefer, or through an email, which can also be good in a case that when you are logging into the website, if it doesn't look this way, if it looks different, what you want to do is to contact the customer service, could be on the email, and just ask them to apply this interface on your account. Okay, it doesn't take too long. It can be performed through the customer service or your senior account manager, which is a nice thing to know that apart from different companies, we also provide a senior account manager for a funded account. Okay, if you funded your account and you're ready to go, you can ask a senior account manager to assist you along your way. They're also qualified as traders on their own, so obviously they can answer you about questions regarding calculations, regarding analysis, regarding all kind of things that might be very helpful to know, like margin impact and leverage. We're going to speak about all those things. The point is that a senior account manager can assist you with everything on the trading side. Okay, so we have customer service for customer service and a senior account manager for the trading side, all from calculation, strategy, and a plan. Okay, it doesn't. This service doesn't cost anything. We're providing it for assistance. Okay, and the content that I'm gonna go through here on the website. Okay, so beside the web trader, which we are looking at right now, we also have the regular platforms, MT4 and MT5. MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5. Okay, there are no major differences between them, to my personal opinion. They're different versions, but in difference from the web trader, on the web trader you can find many things that you're not going to be able to see on MT4 and MT5. Right? I'm going to show you in a few minutes some features that are here that can be very helpful just to get the information, okay, from the charts. We'll see it in a moment. Apart from that, we have AvaSocial and AvaOptions. Just a word to introduce you guys to AvaSocial. The app itself allows you, it's a social media trading app, and it allows you to follow and copy other traders very conveniently. You're going to see lists there, and you can prioritize and choose whoever you want to follow. So there are two things. Like I said, there is follow and copy. The difference is when I'm following somebody, I'm going to get a message with his positions for me to decide if I want to execute or not. Okay, if I want to do what my trader is doing, and if I'm copying somebody, so it will happen by itself. It will happen automatically. Okay, sometimes there is a little markup when you're copying somebody. Obviously, if you're copying somebody who is making profits, and you're making profits along with them, there could be a commission in the middle. Okay, but the app itself is free, so I highly recommend you to download it and see it. There is a question here from Anna. This app is not working in the App Store. Which app from the apps that I've mentioned, Anna? The AvaSocial one? Oh, the AvaSocial. Okay. Well, try and contact your senior account manager. He needs to check if your account can use that, and then of course there shouldn't be a problem. But it needs to be checked. Okay, try it with your account manager and see, because from what I know, the app works just fine. Okay, so we're gonna carry on just about AvaOptions. As I said, the difference is when you're following somebody, you can decide if to do to trade the same positions or not. When you're copying somebody, it happens by itself automatically. You just link your account to his account, and it happens by itself. Okay, AvaOptions, it's just a difference from CFDs, so we're not going to teach you how to trade options, but the app itself is just remarkable, okay, with everything regards to future scenarios and whatever else you need to just resell again or rebuy again. And I highly recommend you to check it. There is a nice video by on YouTube, okay, that explains, a nice tutorial and a nice longer video that explains about the app and how to utilize in it. Yeah, I think we pretty much covered all those. Okay, and we can keep on focusing on the web trader. So I'm just gonna delete them for now, for the time being. And we're gonna carry on with, like I said, a few features that we have here. Actually, I want to bring us back. This is what, okay, so as I've explained, there is a question here, how long this lesson is going to be. We are going for another approximately 48 minutes. The lesson itself is usually an hour. But like I said, it's recorded anyway, so even if you have to go, there is no problem. You can just carry on with ease on the recorded version. So like I said, guys, when I'm logging into the website, this is what I'm gonna see, okay? This doesn't require me to download anything, to install anything. It's here right away. If it doesn't look like that, I can ask customer service to fix it for me or my account manager. Now, if I want to enjoy whatever is behind the chart, the first thing I must do is to click here on the two tiny arrows at the upper right, and then I'm going to see the lists and the categories of the assets that we have. If I scroll down a little bit, I don't know if you can see, there is a thin toggle here, which I can click and drag. okay, or I can simply scroll down with the wheel on my mouse. Okay, so I'm scrolling down. There are categories, as you can see: forex, indices, cryptos, commodities, stocks, ETF, and bonds. Today we're going to pick assets in well, very soon when I'm done with my explanation, we're going to pick from those lists, or we can search it here, which I'm going to show you the function in a minute. Okay, but first what I want to do is I want to cover few features that are on the web trader, okay, which you can enjoy. Now, those, as you can see, those blue lightning icons are assigned for a signal. That means that if I'm clicking on it, you see I'm clicking on it, it's going to open me a signal details here. And then I can expand it back if I want to analyze. And all I have to do basically is just to buy or sell. Okay, now we're going to go a little in depth to the signal to understand what it means, but I'm just going to show you how simple that is just to use it. Okay, and that can be a great solution for whoever is still not having a full facilitated strategy and just want to have a analysis pre-made. Okay, so again, we're folding this down. All right, so I'm clicking on it, I'm choosing the scenario. We have buy and sell scenario, then I click on it and it's ready to launch. Okay, 3 times I've clicked on the screen and I have a position ready to go. I'm not going to tell you if it's good or not, but we can go a little deeper on the depths to understand how to utilize the signals. Okay, so there are 2 ways to access the signals. The one that I showed you just now by clicking on the icon and from the section itself. Now, if I'm clicking on the section itself, it can be found on the left, right? Even with the screen full on, I can still find it here with no issues. Just clicking on it. We have a whole section. I can choose from the section. And then I also see when it was produced, okay, and I can conveniently pick whatever I want, Brent oil. Okay, so if it looks like that, it means, let's try and see. Okay, so the market has already passed a certain level. Now, I want you to understand what that means. The signal was produced on a certain price, right? You see copper as an example. So this is the entry price, okay? And I want you to see that it's almost identical to what we have here, because this is a bid and ask. It's different price, but it's the same price that we're looking at right here. So oh, sorry, I forgot to click on it. So I click on view signal. Now it's going to show me some levels. Okay, they're called support and resistance. I'm giving you just a brief nutshell on what's happening here. We are going to expand about it later, but now just to understand the concept so you can understand what I'm saying. And obviously for people who already know that, that's great. So we are going to expand. Okay, now again, I just opened the signal. I didn't do anything special, just expanding here. Now I'm scrolling down. Again, I scroll down. This is the chart. Now it's showing me here levels. You see that this is daily, right? The time frame that it's analyzed here is daily. That means that each and every candle here is day. So 1 day, 2nd day, 3rd day, 4th day, and so on. Okay, and in here I'm looking at minutes. How do I know that? Because as you can see at the left upper corner, we have here the time frames, which I can change. Same here with the toggle, or is it that I can scroll down? You see, that's a little slippery. You see here, I can scroll down, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change from minutes to days. Okay, so we're gonna scroll down and change to days. Okay, well, it appears that we've already played with that asset before. Okay. And now I can finally see a clear picture. I want just to show you that with this picture, the highest that I see here is 39275, and in here we're not getting near that. We're not there. Okay, but if I change to days, then we can comfortably adjust it. So I don't have to move it by clicking and dragging. I can if I want, but if I don't, I can just keep it wherever I want. Let's say here. Okay, and then I'm going to click on it and I'm going to change it to the number that I want. Let's place it on the, okay, so just again, just the idea with support and resistance. So we said there are a few levels here. The signal was produced with support and resistance. There are certain key levels, pivot points. So we're going to move, as you can see, there is resistance here. So 392.75 is around a little higher, somewhere here. You see it's messing around with me. If I want to specify, I can just click it and change it to whatever I want. Okay, just replace this with 5. This one is green. Let's make it green. Okay, and we have another one at 91.60, which is roughly here. Okay, that's we almost landed. There we go. Okay, now support and resistance by their nature are certain edge points that I can find on the chart that can perhaps hint potential retracement, or just a second, 83.80, that's around here. Now again, if I don't want to go through this hustle of placing it manually, I'm just going to put 3.8260. Oh, sorry. And we're going to try that again. 8260, and it jumps down to where I wanted it. Okay, and now we can see certain levels that this signal was based upon. And we have a buy scenario and we have a sell scenario. Buy scenario means that my intention is that the value will increase. Sell scenario is that my intention is that the value will decrease. Okay, obviously if I'm buying and it goes against me, that means that it goes down. And if I sell and it goes up, that's considered as profit losses. Okay, it will be the opposite. Buy means I go up, I want it to go up, and if it goes down, I have a loss. And for that, we have pending orders. Pending orders. Again, support and resistance is something we might want to explain a little later, but I'm just going to tell you now that those are levels that can assist you finding a good entry and finding a good place to close the position. And it's very, very useful, very common when doing technical analysis. Okay, and the signal here already simplified 3 levels of support and resistance, and based upon that, it's placing take profit and stop loss. Now, it's impossible to explain about the signal without explaining what the stop loss and the take profit are. So we're just going to hypothetically go with a buy. Okay, obviously you can go with sell or buy, but for us now to explain, we have to do something, and that's we're going to go with a buy. So in here, it's showing us the take profit is marked on 391.60. Take profit means that I intention is to close the position on that price. Take profit automatically triggered when reaching a certain price and claiming the profit on the position. Stop loss does the opposite. So this is where I want to close my position because I don't want to lose any further. Okay, so if I'm losing a certain amount, I don't want it to go against me any longer, so I place stop loss. Okay, they both can be adjusted along the way. That means that I can put my take profit now, but I can change it later on. Okay, there is a certain level that I can flex with it, but not too much. It needs to have distance from the entry level. Now, as you can see here, the profit on this position is 107 and the loss is 37. So this is something I need to consider before executing the position. Why? Because if I look for the other scenario, just a second, we're going to click view signal, and this time we're going to go with the sell. Again, we're going to expand again. Okay, so now it's showing us the opposite. It's almost the opposite because the market keep on moving. But as you can see now, the comparison is $50 profit and 93 potential loss. So you need to check that. You can check that before you're taking a position and see if it's good for you or not. Because of something called R&R, reward, risk and reward, sorry. Okay, you want to check your ratio and compare it. You can do it easily with the signals by the Trading Central. So the signals are, let me just show you that just for a bit. Okay, they are provided by the Trading Central, and you can enjoy that as part of our content that we're providing on the website. You can see Trading Central here, and we're going to go a little lower. So this is again on a nutshell about the signals. I don't want to go too far with it. I'm just going to tell you that the signal time that it was produced make a difference, especially because of, as you can see, there's certain levels that has already passed. Okay, and to find a good signal, you need to have the scenarios simplified in a way that makes sense to you, like I showed with the potential profit and potential loss and so on. Now we're going to carry on with these. We're going to go a little lower to the, so this is, like I said, this is technical analysis, right? And when we're trading, we have two kinds of analysis. We have technical, and we have technical analysis, and we have fundamental analysis. Okay, now how does fundamental analysis works? So this is how the market has moved, and I'm planning on, I'm reading the past to try and understand the future. This is from the chart. Technical, it's based on averages and, like I said, support and resistance and all kind of numbers from the charts and candles formations and so on. And fundamental analysis is everything else. So that means news, occurrences, events, and so on. So one place that I can find it is either search online or in here in the news section. So if I'm clicking on the news section, as you can see, it's also categorized to different things like majors. You see, we have here Forex, we have stocks, okay, we have commodities. Now, one of the beauty benefits about using the news section is that it's also showing you, well, this is oil, so obviously it's going to show oil, but there you can see, this is an example. It's showing us two related indices, right? The Asian indices. Cryptos can be related. There you go. You see, if I'm looking at crypto as an example, we can find it might be related to oil, gold, Bitcoin, and Aussie versus dollar. Let me see if I can find you something else. This is what we just saw. Okay. Yeah, so this is one place. Again, this is also provided by the Trading Central. And beside the news section, we're going to go a little lower to the discovery. You see this globy icon. There's discovery here and economic calendar. So we just looked at the news section, but this one is providing us with the, just going to get rid of that. This providing us with the events themselves. So we can filter according to what we are following. If I'm trading Forex and I want to be more aware of what's happening with the dollar, what's causing it to move this way or another, in here I can find all the major, oh sorry, this one is also on high impact. Just a second, so we're going to click on all countries. There we go. Yeah, so what I said, if I'm following the dollar as an example, and I only want to see things from the dollar, I don't want to see pound or something else. So what I'm going to do is just to click here on all countries and click here on US. There we go. We have only US now. And I can also choose, I don't know if you saw that, but I can also choose how important the event is for me, how big the impact is going to have on the market. So we have low, medium, and high Here are some high impact events. Okay, those are medium and those are lows. I can also, let me see if I can add it to my calendar. Certain event, I put it on my calendar, and then I can remember when it is, and I can prepare my strategy accordingly. Okay, here if I click on read more, it also specify the engagement, and it's showing me what can be the effect. Okay, in here we have the numbers. So this what happened last time. For the previous is what happened last time. This is what we anticipate that will be, and this is what actually happened. Okay, let's pick something. This will only be after the event, right? This is why it's grayed. I don't know if you can see, but this thing's already happened, right? But this will appear. Let me show you something that has. I'm looking for a reoccurrences event, but I'm not sure we have the time for that now. Let's leave it for now. Let's leave it for now. But my point is that it's very easy to maneuver with this calendar. You can filter what you want. You can also search. Just a second. Gonna mark everything here. Okay, and then I can simply pick whatever I want. Like I said, add it to the calendar and then analyze it. Now it's showing me all countries. But as I said before, we can just specify to what we want and follow what we need. Okay, so we didn't cover, but we went through the signals for technical analysis. Both the news section and the economic calendar provides me technical fundamental analysis, okay, which can again contribute when it comes down to analysis. Okay, and we pretty much covered everything that we needed from the web trader, and now I think we have time to go through the basics. Now we're going to find ourselves an asset, and we'll have a nice guide through about the toolbar here, okay, to know how to use it. And to pick an asset, we're going to, unfortunately, I can't show you stocks, guys, with as much as I want. The market is closed, right? As you can see here, it's closed, and it will be open in approximately 3 hours. Okay, so we're going to pick something from the commodities. And we're going to go with maybe energies or agriculture. How is soybean doing? Seems very bearish, but it's open for interpretation. Okay. All right. So let's suppose that I want to look at soybean, but I want to do it from here. Okay, I don't want to go through the hustle on the lists and find it on the list. I don't have time for that. So what I can do is I don't know if you noticed, but I click here on the box, and I'm just going to type soy and pick it from the list. Okay, and in here, again, if I want to fold it down, I can fold it down. It's not necessary now. If I keep going to the right, we already saw that. We have the time frames, right? 1 minute. So again, just to recap, each candle, when I'm changing the time frame, that's actually changing the candle's time frame. So that means that each candle now is week length. Now, how can I know that? Because unfortunately, I get no information from the candles, right? So why am I not getting any information from the candles? Let me show you. You see that there is a crosshair here. I'm sorry, I'm skipping the icon here. So I would like to clarify what this icon does, and then I'll keep moving. So this icon just changes how the chart looks like, whether if it's candlesticks or a line. Okay, now it's a line, now it's candlesticks or bars. Okay. Now, if I'm changing my crosshair, I don't know if you can see my crosshair, right? If I'm changing my crosshair from no crosshair to crosshair, then I can see what each candle is, right? And then you can see, because we're on 1 week, as I said before, this is 1 week length. So I'm looking at here on this candle. Don't worry, I'm gonna show you how to put the lines there. As you can see, this is 30th of October. So this would be the following week. This would be the following week. And this, as you can see, there are 7 days difference between those dates. Okay, so each candle here is a date, is a week. In here, when I'm changing today's, each candle is a day, obviously. Okay. If I keep going to the right, then we have here different layouts. So let's suppose I'm going to look at soybean, but as well, I want to analyze NASDAQ, okay, as an example. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here. Maybe I've done it too fast. Never mind. I'm showing you here. You see, I'm changing the chart that I am modifying, and I can click here on the chart that I want to change. So if it's corn, I'm simply going to click here and put NASDAQ if I want, then click it, and it will change the chart. Keep in mind that when you're doing that, you want to make sure that the candle that you're trading, okay, you see here the order entry and the instrument details. So this sidebar can stay the same. Let me show you what I mean by that. So if I'll click here, buy, you see it's going to buy NASDAQ, right? If I click here on soybean and I'm modifying the chart and all of that, even if I go back, you got to be careful, okay? So you won't be accidentally trading NASDAQ while still looking at soybean. Okay, as you can see, this is soybean chart, but I'm okay. So what do I do? I just click sell or buy, and it brings up soybean. Okay, just keep that in mind. It can come very handy. I keep going to the right to the FX indicators, and right here I can choose an indicator to apply. Let's go with DMA. Click it and I apply it. Okay, this is super simple. There is really nothing to explain in here. I just click, drag. While I let go of it in this box, I can change here the specifications, and I'm gonna hit the save button. Okay, and it's showing me the DMA right here. Okay, to get rid of it, all I have to do is I click here on the indicators, here on the X, and click save. Now, if I keep going to the right, you saw those beautiful horizontal timelines, vertical lines, timelines. This is how they're called on MT4. Okay, so those lines, the way that we're placing it on the chart, it's really very, it's the same principle. Okay, so I'm clicking on the arrow, clicking on the list, and clicking on the chart. Now it stays here. I can click again and clicking on the chart, clicking on the line and clicking on the chart. To get rid of everything altogether, click on the arrow and clear drawing. Okay, so that was the guide through. I think we can get down to business. What we're going to do is we're going to put the name of the asset we're analyzing, which is soybean now. Okay, and before we go any further, I would like to place the bare minimum. Okay, and then I'm going to click on take profit and on stop loss, and we're going to change the price to the current price. Okay. Now, when I'm looking at soybean seems like a lovely asset to analyze. We are now looking at days very well, and our intention is to make money with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 4 ingredients, first, second, third, and fourth. There is a question here. Just a second. Very, very interesting question. It indicates, okay. The problem is that I can't expand my screen to keep reading it. Just a second. Yes, I'll go through that, Natalia. Now, Serdar, I'm not sure that I fully understand your question, but I think that if you'll address your senior account manager with that, he can understand what you're asking right away. I think, but this what you're asking, I think it needs to be more specific because it depends on your account. There is a question by Elisha. Where do you adjust the leverage on MT5 chart? It's not something that you can adjust. Unfortunately, we can't. We're not gonna. We can't adjust the leverage. I mean, we can, but that depends on your senior account manager and the regulations that you have. It's not something a trader can do by himself. I hope that it makes sense. Anyway, okay, so thank you for the lovely questions, guys. This is very good, but I have to proceed. So what we're gonna do is, like I said, we have soybean here. We're gonna put down 4 things that will assist us composing this position. The first one is the goal. The second one is the time. The third one is the movements. Why did I do it with capital? Just a second. It stays this way. Okay. Goal, time, movements, and this is also known as price difference. Okay, and units. Okay. Now, the way that this works is super simple. Let's suppose that my goal now is $5,000. Okay. And I want to make it in a, why do I need to capture? Yes, Adelaike, if you have a question, just ask the question and I will see. Feel free. You don't need my permission to ask a question. Yeah, why guys do I need to specify what time? What difference does it make if I make $5,000 in a day or in a year? Right? What do you think? Is there a difference making $5,000 in a day or in a year? I mean, it's still $5,000, right? What do you think, guys? It's time efficiency. Okay, Josh, time efficiency. What do you mean by time efficiency, if I may ask? Okay, if you put it down to a year, it's not a lot of money. Well, that's right. That's also right. And if you earn it in a day, then you save the inflation. Could be. So what you're telling me, guys, is $5,000 in a day is $150 a month, right? Just a second. Right, let's just multiply that by 24 days that we can trade, right? So that comes down to $120,000 a month versus if it's a year. So we're gonna take $5,000 and divide it by 12 months. That's barely 416. Okay, yeah. So you're right. It's not a lot of money. But the difference here, beside how time efficiency and everything that you guys wrote, this is also for me to know which candles I'm gonna analyze. If I'm planning to make this $5,000 in the next year, or even in the next month, will I be bothered and analyze minutes? How many minutes are in a year or in a month for that matter? Many, many minutes, right? But if I know, okay, my trading style is weekly, intraday weekly, and I'm planning to make this $5,000, I'm planning on making it in a week, right? So I know that the days and the weeks are the candles that I'm going to focus, and I'm more specific, and my scope is on intraday weekly trading style. Okay, so this time efficiency, it's really about my ambitions and also my availability. Okay, now the third thing that we're looking for is the movement. So let's suppose that we believe the bullish, the going up. So we say bullish because bull lift his opponent to the air and bear slammed it to the ground, right? Some people don't know that. So bullish candle means a positive candle and bearish is a negative candle. So let's suppose that we believe that there will be here some correction. Okay, if I go back to last year around November, it was around that level and then it turned around. So let's suppose that that we believe that and we are going with a buy. Okay, so let's suppose now. What do you think? 1241 is where it's at right now. Do you think that if I'll aim for $200 higher, around here, is this a length, a realistic distance for soybean to travel in a week? Just a second, can I just replace it for a green one? And we're gonna leave here a nice note. Oh, disappeared. Okay, so my question to you guys is, can soybean get from 1241 to 1441? Yeah. All right, so Natalia, you don't really take that. Too optimistic, I would say. Okay, who else thinks that this is far-fetched? And who thinks that this is realistic? Anna, in a year. No, my question is if it can happen in a week, right? My question is if it can happen in a week. No way. All right, Anna, also you wrote no. Josh, not really. Guy, not likely. Okay, Miliana also. So basically you guys telling me that for this to happen, and I can tell you if it's possible or not, it's possible because there's some unimaginable things happening in the market. But if it's likely or not, if it's average or not, this is not a typical movement. This is exceptional. Okay. The reason that I'm telling you that it's possible, I don't know if it's likely or not, is because, as you can see, this one is an example. Let's just get rid of, but I don't want to delete it because I want you guys to see. Maybe I should put a rectangle around it. Okay, this is whether if it's possible or not. Okay, you see, it's enough to have maybe something similar to that, and it's possible to get close. But to tell you if it's frequent, if it's average or not, we're gonna apply now an indicator to show us what the real average movement is for a soybean. But as you can see, this is, if I look at the size and I look at the shape and the structure of the candles, we can see that statistically last week and 2 weeks. Sorry guys, my sound just got off. I hope that I'm back again. But the point here is that it can happen, but it's exceptional, okay? If I'm looking statistically at the few 25 weeks backward, we can see that it wasn't even close. Okay. Now, what do you think, if this is far-fetched, what do you think that is a realistic soybean to be at in a week, right? You think that it can get, let's suppose that I'm gonna go with something much humbler. Let's go with $50, okay? Somewhere here, 91, where is 91? Yeah. What do you think? This one, let's make it green. This one, because it's far-fetched, we're gonna make it maybe turquoise or something. Okay. What do you think? Is it better than what we had back here? Is it okay? This one, 1291. That's $50 higher. Okay, so we're gonna confirm it with the ATR, the average true range. Okay, so we're gonna click on the indicators and we're gonna type down here AVE for average true range. We're gonna click and drag it again to the box here. We're gonna make sure that we are on wielders. The length is 14 and 1 packs for the ATR. Okay, right now we just need one stream of indication, which is fine. And we're gonna click on save. So he's one of the accelerators, as you can see, and the average movement per week is, I'm not seeing your screen. Well, is there any issue on my screen or my sound, guys? It might be just a problem on your end. Okay, I am unfortunately not to Kunde. It seems like everybody else is fine, so it might be an issue on your end. I apologize. So as you can see here, this is a length that actually makes sense to the ATR, but this is a tricky question, guys. Is this in our range or out of the range? And I want you to compare it. Let's compare it together. Let's compare it together and see how far away our new gold price is. So that's 1291.5 minus 1241.5. That's $50 away, right? And what is the average for soybean per week? How do I know that it's per week? Because we are on weeks, right? We went through that in the beginning. 1 week. Okay. Now, is it in the range or out of the range? Out of the range, exactly. So I need to get it just a little closer. Let's get it closer to 40. Let's make it 40. Okay, 40, somewhere here. Again, it's messing around with me, but we're not gonna let him do that. We're just gonna put here 1 and 5, and we are good. Okay, now we are in the range. This is $40. The average is 47, which is fine. Why was it out of the range? Yes, and of course, I will explain. So this is how far away let's suppose that this is our take profit, okay? Let's make it 1291, okay? Right, so 1291, how far away is that from my entry? Let's suppose that I enter now, right? So how far away is that from this, Anna? $50, 50, right? 41, so 91, perfect, exactly. So what is the average that we're getting? This is the average based on the 14th past candles, right? So if this is the average, which is 47, and we are $50 away, is it in my range or out of the range? What is bigger? let's make it the other way around, okay? Okay, perfect. That's good. With pleasure. I'm happy that you asked. Yeah, so as I said, I just pulled it a little lower, pulled it down to 81, and it makes us, let's see, $40 away. We have 1 bushel of soybean because we have just 1 bushel, and it goes across $40. It can be fruitful with $40 profit. Okay, now we're going to try it vice versa. We're going to go for $40 down, which can be approximately, let's see, where? No, we're not going to be able to see that unless, no, we actually can. This is quite remarkable. Okay, oops. I get rid of it. 1241.5 minus 40, so that makes it perfect. All right. So for that to become $5,000, what needs to oh, I'm gonna put here 40. What needs to happen to make my $40 $5,000? Okay, let's see. The formula that I'm going to use is very, very simple. Summary divided by movements equals units, right? Also known as price difference. There is a reason that I'm putting it down, people, because sometimes it's very confusing. So 5,000 divided by 40. Who can give me an answer, guys? Who is genius to give me the answer in seconds? But I'm gonna do it with you anyway. Okay, so 5,000. Let's do it together. 5,000 divided by 40. 125. Okay, 125. Let's try. So okay. So according to this formula, if I'm gonna place here 125, we should be able to see here $5,000. Okay, which is the potential profit. Okay, something here. Oh, something. Oh, the price. The price hasn't changed. Oh, it hasn't changed. Okay, I'm sorry. The price that was here was the current price, but now it's the price that we're aiming for, right? The take profit. And it became 5,000, but I'm not sure that everybody saw that. Let me show you the difference between one. So with one, we make 40, and with 125, we make 5,000. Perfect. What about the stop loss? So now we're gonna change it to 1201. Okay, now we can also lose 5,000. Okay, we can gain 5,000, we can lose 5,000. Okay, perfect. Now it's time to say that whatever I'm planning to make out of the account needs to also make sense with my budget. We're gonna understand now if we can open the position or not. Okay, we're gonna put here 125, and we're gonna see if we can open the position or not. Okay, so 1 unit cost 1281. Okay, multiply 125. That makes it, oh sorry, it's not the current price, that's the current price. 1241 multiply 125. That means that the value of this position, how much does it worth? It's worth 155,125. Perfect. Now, that means the value is this. Okay. And this is what I would have needed to have in my account if I wouldn't have leverage. So Danny, what is exactly the leverage is doing? So the leverage, what it does is it's multiplying my buying and selling power. Okay, so that means that my 155,000 shouldn't really be, my balance shouldn't really be this high. What it should be is just 10% of it. So I'm gonna take the 155 divided by 10 by the leverage. The leverage here is 1 to 10, right? And then I have the margin impact, which tells me that with 10,000, I can't really trade this position. What I really need is 15,000. Okay, so 5,000 might be a little far-fetched, which again, it's fine. We're gonna make it something a little more realistic. Let's make it just, let's say 1,000. Okay, I can use the same formula, make it 1,000, and then divide 1,000 by 40. Okay, so we're gonna do it together. 1,000 divided by 40. 25 now, it's not 125. Okay, perfect. Yeah, and then the value changes. It's no longer 155, it's 31,000. Okay. That's the new value. And now what I need is not 15, is, again guys, I'm fully aware that what I did in the last 30 seconds might be a little too fast, but again, I remind you that the webinar is recorded. It's recorded. You can see and make this comparison in your own time, in your own numbers, to compare it with your own assets. It's completely fine. It's going to work perfectly. The reason that I'm teaching you this is this formula and this structure is universal. You can apply it on any other asset with no issues. Okay. Yeah, as you can see here, this is something I can deal with. This is 3,000. My account is with 10,000. Looks pretty good. Okay, I can take it if I want. I'm not going to tell you if it's wise or not, if it's good or not, but I'm going to tell you that we can make it. Okay, we have enough money for that. One more thing that I'm going to show you today, guys, is, I've been requested to go through the execute when price hits, right? Who asked me that? I think that was a few minutes ago. I almost forgot. Right, Natalia, I'm sorry. So as you can see here, this is super simple. So what this function is actually allowing me to buy in a different price or to sell in a different price. So let's suppose that I'm busy at work. I don't want to wait until, let's suppose that I'm not really satisfied with 1241, right? And I want to buy at, let's say 1,200, right? Changing, if I buy, then I shouldn't limit how much I can lose. No, it's fine, Anna. I'm going through that in a minute. But first, I want to show dear Natalia how to utilize with the execute when price hits, right? So with the way that this works is I'm going to ask the platform to buy in a price, in a different price. Let's suppose 1,200. And what that pending order is doing is it allows me to buy in advance. Let's suppose I want to buy, not in advance, sorry, if it reaches that price. If it reaches 1,200, it's going to launch my buy at 1,200. This is why it's called execute when price hits. Now pay close attention if you're on a buy or on a sell, because this is what it's based upon. If I would have been on a sell, it would have launched a sell. Okay, now the beauty about using the platform, you see that it grew, you see that my profit grew because it's not $40 away anymore, it's $80 away, 1,200 to 1,281. Okay, it's allowing me to place and advance my position where I want it to be. So, and if it reaches that price, it launches it automatically. If I don't use it, it launches the position at the price that we are at. Okay, now the take profit, we said that it's marked on 1281.5. Stop loss, we said that it's marked on just a second. No, it's fine. 1200. This is where it was, right? This can lead us to 1,000 profit. This can lead us to 1,000 loss. Okay, that one is plus, that one is loss. And the last thing that I'm going to teach you is how to adjust your risk money management and your ratio, how to make sure that your ratio is okay. Now, because the length is the same, $40 up or $40 down, okay, I'm not going to complain that this looks the same, but I can see, if I compare this 1,000 to my balance, I can see that my exposure now on this position only is 10%, right? Why? Because 10,000 minus 1,000 equals, there's no really, this is the simplest way that I can explain it, right? So this is 10% exposure. Am I happy with 10% exposure? Maybe. Let's suppose that I want to minimize it to 5, right? Let's suppose that I'm not happy with a 10%. I want only to be to expose myself with 5. Now, what do? I change here the stop loss from 1,200 just to 5%. So that means that the length instead of 40 becomes 20. And then my loss becomes 500. Okay, just a second. 1241, it's 21. Okay, I'm gonna give you now a personal tip. You don't want the stop loss to be right on the entry point, because eventually, who knows what happens if my stop loss is too close. Let me just write it as a question here, because I don't want to upset anyone. What happens if the stop loss is too close to the entry, right? What do you think that can happen? Sardar, you're asking, is there a book I can use to learn what you've shown in their recommendation? Unfortunately, Sardar, there is no book to what I'm teaching, because everybody's teaching the same, but our approach is a little different, and the way that I'm teaching is different. So this is also for people who doesn't have any financial background, and that's why it works. And like I said, you can just use it on any other asset with no issues. Your risk finishing the trade because of an outliner. Yes, could be. Could be. Again, if my stop loss is on my entry, what can basically happen is it can go down a little bit, trigger my stop loss, and jump back up. So I want to be able to maneuver through that and not to have my stop loss on my entry. Otherwise, it can flinch and go to where I want it. It's a realistic scenario. So guys, unfortunately, our time today is up. And thank you all for asking those wonderful questions, and thank you for listening to my explanation. It's been a pleasure. We are having tomorrow a live Q&A, which you can all join us. With the pleasure, of course, of course. I'm happy. If you guys don't ask me the questions, then what am I doing here? So I wish you all best of luck. I'm sorry, Adeleke, I'm sorry I didn't answer your question, sir, but join us tomorrow. Tomorrow we have a live Q&A. It's exactly for that. You can join us tomorrow. I promise to put an effort to answer your question, but today we are over. So I wish you all best of luck. What time? It's at 12. It's at 12 UK time. You can get the link from your account manager. I really have to go. I don't want to be rude, guys. Best of luck and have a wonderful day.